The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyro Media Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
What's going on, kings, queens, and the entire spectrum in between? It's your boy Kwame, and we are back with yet another episode of Kwame Speaks. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in because I have a very special episode today. I had another thing planned, but I am so thankful that Tyesse Jackson was able to come in today. And if you are just tuning in, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And I don't want to labor long because she booked and busy, okay? So we got to hurry up and get this together. But I'm going to go ahead and grab her and bring her on, and I want to let you guys know that you can go ahead and subscribe to not only Pyro Media's network, Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel, but you can also subscribe to mine as well, which is youtube.com /at Kwame Speaks, all one word. All right, you guys, I don't want to labor long because, again, like I said, they booked and busy, so we got to get this done. Without further ado, one of the people who is dearest and nearest to my heart, y'all know her as Mother, okay? So we're going to go ahead and bring Mother Tyesse on. Hang in there. Hey, Mother.
Hey, what's going on?
What is going on? First of all, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you got a show, you're booked and busy, you got lots of things going on, you're handling things, and so thank you for taking the time out to come on such short notice. It's very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Yes. I want to go ahead and I want to talk about something that I was going to go ahead and have a conversation about Luxe Noir and different things that's going on. But by the way, go ahead and hit luxenoir.com for your candle needs and all your self-care needs. But I want to go ahead and talk about some things that has really just bothered me in the past couple of weeks, actually the past couple of months. In working with you since you came on, you have been a shining example of what I feel community building is. You've been a shining example of just authenticity and just being real. So first of all, thank you for that. And I want to just start out saying I know this is probably going to kind of sound interview-ish. I'm going to try my best.
Oh, it's all good. I love it.
I want to kind of talk about just kind of how you've managed to build something that a lot of people would look at and say, oh my God, they've done that in such a short amount of time with so much adversity. And I want to kind of touch on certain things that I don't think people are really seeing behind the scenes as far as like the marketing world is concerned, as far as branding is concerned. So first and foremost, one of the things that you have talked about that hit me, and a lot of people don't really know this about myself, is you speak highly about your anxiety. And for those who don't know, I developed major anxiety during the pandemic. I lost someone very, very near and dear to me. I'm not going to go into detail on that because I'm not trying to cry. But that really caused a lot of deep-rooted kind of concerns and issues and things that I've really kind of tried to fight past. And this past week has been a really, really huge fight. And I know that you have been going through some things as well. So tell me how you connect with your audience and what do you feel is something that other content creators, other vloggers, other bloggers can do to kind of connect with their audience in a way that they may not be connecting with, and how authentic, without putting out all their business, how authentic they need to be.
Let me do this because I'm just coming off of, I'm watching a YouTube situation right now. Just before I came on with you, I was watching this situation unfold. And if you remember in For Color Girls, if you know the movie Kwame, Anika Nani Rose was SA'd. She was SA'd in For Color Girls.
Yes.
And she did her monologue and she said the nature of RAPE has changed, right? Because it's not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking at, what I just looked at with what I just was watching right now on social media before I came on with you, this situation, the nature of YouTube is changed.
Yeah.
Funky and Eva told us, and a lot of us didn't catch it. And then she said, I'm just like, I'm over it. And she stepped away for a while, and then she came back. But she said, it's just, it has changed. This atmosphere is different.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you that the nature of YouTube has changed. Had somebody told me all of this come along with it, I may have given it a second thought. Although I believe this is my purpose, I know this is my purpose and my destiny, but I would have gave it some thought because it is a lot
Yeah.
to sit with this. And I enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I bring to people. People telling me what I bring to them is reward enough for me, letting me know I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't doing anything, I would know it. And then, like, when you're not really bringing anything to the table, then anything goes for you on your platform. You'll do anything because you're not really affecting anything any major way. So you just feel like, you know what, I'm just here, so let me just party and just do whatever I want to do. But when you have people that follow you and you influence, you try to hold your head above a different type of board, right? You try to go above and beyond to make sure that your people are satisfied and taken care of.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I gave a whole monologue.
No,
but
it speaks to what we're going to be talking about. So go ahead.
But to answer your question, it is a lot to maneuver. And I think what has kept me and sustained me during this YouTube run that I've been on since February 15, 2021, what has really, I think, kind of kept me and sustained me, you have to know something about something bigger than yourself.
Yes.
You got to like have something. You ain't got to be a Bible thumper. You don't have to be at church every Sunday. You got to know something about the rock.
Yes.
Because, honey, the way these people are set up now, they will crush your soul, crush your heart, your dreams. You have to, and I said it earlier on my live, brother. You can pretend like people don't hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of us are running around here trying to act like you Superman and you Superwoman, and I don't know, none of that stuff bother me.
Yeah.
These people are coming with a different level of vitriol and a different level of hatred.
Yeah.
I get tea and shade. It's a part of me and your subculture type, Kwame.
Yeah.
Tea and shade is a part of gay, black gay subculture. We snap, we read, we point, we're catty. That's a part of it. That is something that it's a colloquialism with us.
Yeah.
This other stuff that's going on YouTube, this stuff is borderline evil.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just YouTube, it's also TikTok. One of the things one of the things that I was really frustrated with last week with, and what you're talking about, the video that you sent me, I watched and I was just like, oh my God, we're going that deep? It's that serious, y'all? It's like, y'all, I know this is not what this has come to, but it has. I don't understand how, for me personally, if I don't know you like that, if we don't hang out, if it's just a virtual thing, if it's not something where I'm having a relationship with you, I don't understand why you have that level of anger towards someone. Because if someone on TikTok says something to me, or someone on TikTok or Facebook or any social media platform, because I get it, I've gotten it on Instagram too, and if someone says something that is just not, and I don't know them, what is the purpose of me engaging. I don't need to have a whole video because I disagree with them. I don't need to go to such lengths where it literally feels like you hate that person. But you don't know someone. I don't think people really understand. Just like people say, oh, well, you don't really know what love is. I don't think people really understand what hate is. And so sometimes people will go into another level because they think it's cute, because they think it's something that you're supposed to do when you're going in. This is a serious situation. This whole doxing thing that they have on TikTok, mother, is a huge phenomenon. It's a huge problem, and it is getting people killed. It is getting people. This is serious. It's not a joke.
Because some people don't know who they're playing with. And this is like people are doing this really, and to be honest with you, they are building their platforms off of this energy.
Yeah.
And when you look at the numbers that they get, it is not like you're going to be on Tasha K status next week, Kwame. It's not possible. You know,
it's not possible. First of all, let me just explain to y'all how things work. like just so you are aware, YouTube channels, even if you do go viral with something, you're not going to get to 1 million in a week. It's just not possible. The algorithm is against you. The whole purpose of the algorithm, because guess what? When you get to that level, YouTube has to pay you. There's millions of people out there that have really high numbers. There's a small percentage, rather, that have really high numbers, and they get paid out by YouTube. So they don't want to keep paying you out. You have to. There's gauntlets that you have to go through.
You have to. Not to cut you off, buddy. You have to work. Like you'd have to do like a 4-hour live with half of your subscribers on to see something substantive in the form of a YouTube check, right? Right. So, and I just been studying behind the scenes for a while now, just getting acclimated and learning how this works as I'm new, and all that information that I get from you. But I love to go into it and read late at night when I don't have nothing to do and just figure it out, like, what the deal is. Yeah. And I was just on my Google Analytics today, and it said that my watch time hours are 3.9 thousand more than usual. Yes. That's the good thing about it. It tells you, like, girl, there's some tea going on your channel. Yep. And it's good tea because the arrows are all pointing up. But the thing about it is that I'm doing, my content that I normally do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out here picking battles and wars with people in order to get that, right? Because that's not necessary. And it also lets you know over the course of 28 days. So it's not like it's a snapshot right then and there. So over the last month, your views are up, 4,000 views. So my thing is this, Kwame. This is what I have not shared this with nobody. I'm sharing this with you right now. I haven't even talked about this on my own channel. What I believe is going on. There are some people that are content creators that are in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I ain't trying to make no excuses for these folks because there's enough of that going around. But some of these people are in some serious pain and hurt.
Yes.
And they are unleashing this pain and hurt on everybody and their mama on YouTube. Everybody can catch a straight. Everybody gonna get a piece of this because this is what happened to me, and I haven't tapped into it. And I'm making the people that hurt me. I'm turning those into the people that I see every day on YouTube. Yeah. A lot of these girls have not dealt with a lot of stuff that they have come up through. They haven't cleaned it up. They ain't handling it, and they're making other YouTubers their whipping posts.
Yes, say that, mother. Yes, and
that's what I really, really believe. They're making other YouTubers. You gonna be my therapy, and I'm gonna unleash all of this what I feel inside on you, girl. You need to go to a pastor or a psychologist and clean that up. I didn't do nothing to you.
Right, and to your point, mother, I think when we look at social media, especially how it's weaponized, one of the things that you know we've all talked about. When I say we all, I mean pretty much everybody on Pyro Media Network, to include you, to include Kyrie, to include myself. We've all talked about mental health and how important that is. Getting a therapist, speaking to somebody, because a lot of times, you know, you see people and they see you. And they think that you're their therapist. They think that you're their friendipist. They think that whatever, that you're that person that can break that yoke. When they need to go to Jesus on it. But that's a whole other conversation. But what these content creators that you're talking about, and generalizing, because I don't want no smoke, because they don't want mine. The situation is that at the end of the day, when you're broken and you have this big megaphone, like social media, you're going out there not only harming the people who are following you, but you're harming yourself, because you're not getting you're not getting the things resolved. You're going in a cycle. And I do think that it could be therapeutic to talk to other people about different things, to talk to your audience, your followership, but it cannot be a therapy session, because you're not getting anything other than it's other traumatic people talking to you about their traumas. And so especially when you're in a circle of people who are traumatized, and that's what I've noticed about all those people who've attacked you, who've had conversations about and doing all of these videos, and it's just like, is it really that deep? And it's that like even the video that you sent me, I was just like, this is insane, and I've never seen this particular person before. I've never seen, you know, their work, and it's just like people are actually, and it made me like kind of think, because I have like my own, I guess, I don't want to say bubble, but my own space on different content creators that I view and different people who I watch. I watch Pam, I watch Larry Reed, I watch you, I watch different people that I just feel like, you know, is going to give me the tea, it's going to give me enough, but it's not negative, it's not harmful. And I feel like we've gotten to a space, not just on YouTube, not just on TikTok, but across the board, where it's just been constant negativity. We can't just sit down and kiki. We can't just sit down and have a good time and laugh. And like you said earlier, you know, about yes, tea and shade is a part of you know, Black gay culture. And yes, we get that. There's a difference between shading someone. We can sit in a room. We've done it on lives before, but I don't think that you hate me, mother. I would never say anything to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I joke almost every single Pyro Power Hour. I always say to Kyrie, you know, on the live, it's like, oh, when you with Trade, you know, we're all joking. I would never go and disrespect them, and I feel like we've gotten to a point where we've forgotten our humanity.
Yeah, it's a difference between saying Billy Porter looked a mess last night at the Met Gala and talking about someone's physical appearance, their weight, you know, how they look and whatnot. I had a situation where there was a young gay boy. He had went through some things with his family, right? And I was kind of like virtually mentoring him, just encouraging him, because I've been where he was with family.
Yeah.
And so we fell out. Something happened on our chat. It was a chat fallout. He threatened my platform. And then I told him, I said, listen, I said specifically, I was there for you and helped you when you were going through the issues with your family and tried to, you know, be a mentor for you. But I'm done with you. I'm moving on, honey. I don't have time for this. I'm not taking it no more foster kids. I'm not taking it no more children. So I said that, and I don't know. Maybe that's, you know. And then there was a late night read after he did a post on his page. Kwame, he did a post on his page. It is single-handedly the most hateful post I have seen about a human on social media, but it just happens to be about me. It was every hateful thing you could imagine, and I know that came from a place of pain. I cannot excuse or obfuscate the fact that I know he has been in some hateful energy.
Yeah.
And that thing was turned around and he threw it all on me. And I know a lot of people will say, "Mother, stop making excuses for these people." No, that's the truth, because I've been where he's at.
Yeah.
We're not making excuses for people, who, go out here purposely hurting people. What I'm saying is, y'all, there's a backstory and there's a reason why these people are this way. And please don't think that I'm on this, show today on a soapbox and acting like I'm perfect, because I've done a lot of wrong. I've said a lot of wrong. I've tried to clean up a lot of wrong. I am not no damn perfect Patty at all. But what I can say is, Kwame, that I ain't never in my life tried to destroy somebody's spirit and their soul. That's not in me. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Yeah,
and these people are on some different type of vibration. I'm sorry.
It is meth level, like, ridiculous vibrations. Like, I'm just like, I am, and I know that people look at me like, "Well, Kwame, this ain't about you." It affects you as an audience member too. It affects you when we, like, the other day when we were in Pyro Hour, or excuse me, the Tyesse After Dark last week. It really frustrated me because we really work hard to create a show. This is not something that we do that we just, pull out of our asses. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that we're doing sitting around just saying, "Oh, here's a thought. Let's go ahead and create it." There's a lot of thought that goes into it. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of things that go into creating these shows, each show on Pyro Media. So it's really frustrating when we're really excited. We're having a good vibe. Everybody in the Tyesse squad is doing their thing. Everybody's, any show on Pyro Media. And so when we're doing it, it's exciting because it's like, wow, let's see what's going to unfold. Let's see how Tyesse is going to knock this out of the park. And then when we have to get to divert, because we have to address the BS, because it has to be addressed. And so when we have to address the BS, it's really frustrating.
Because somebody came in the chat. I was drinking, which is a no-no for me. I know my trigger. I cannot drink and deal with conflict ever in my life. I know me. Yeah. So somebody came in the comments, somebody that's not a follower, probably a bone carrier or email sender, came in the chat and said something. It triggered me. And then when I saw my image again being streamed, I lost it, Kwame. I ain't gonna sit up to you. I ain't gonna lie. When they said, you're being streamed again, that's when I was triggered again. And I think that's the goal. The goal is to chip away.
Why is it that this is something that I've noticed, and maybe it's not delivered yet. But why is it, I'm taking off the glasses because I'm getting frustrated, but it always seems that when someone does something to you, no one says anything. But when you retaliate and you give them the same energy, if not more, you're the problem. Why is that?
I don't know. I can say this. So oftentimes in the blogosphere, in this landscape that we're in, Kwame, there's no rhyme or reason. You can't pinpoint people's thought patterns, rationales, logic. You will go crazy because sometimes people are just on some stuff and you're not even privy to it. Like what their motivations are, right? With the situation that I had, just the perception of something just turned into a 5-day, just blitz on me. And that was just a small incident that kind of like, it just turned into a snowball. So all I can say is, Kwame, all you can do is just keep going and keep pressing forward.
Yeah.
But Valerie Spencer said something during one of my lives with her.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that. And I was thinking about that maybe an hour before I came on right now. She said something on the live when I was talking about my family. And she said, stop testing your heart, your capacity to take all of this stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, like we feel like we can take it, but you are human. Stop testing the bandwidth of your heart. Your heart is spiritual, but it's also physical. It
Yeah.
is a pumping machine.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you, Kwame. All of that last week nearly, took me down a rabbit hole, but I was able to pull myself out because there was so many people in my inbox, so many phone calls, so many people like, mother, don't do this again. This is, you know where this is headed.
Yeah.
Ignore it, handle it the right way. And that kept me from delving into anxiety, delving into self-medicating. People, a network, a community. Because if I'm to be honest, when I had the incident with my former platform, there were people in my own circle that were, fuck that shit. So it was like, it was different. You know what I'm saying? It was people in my own platform at that time that was like, well, girl, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to bat, let's go to war. Don't let them do you like that. It was different this time. So I think that helped me out a lot. And please know, Kwame, that dealing with all of this, and I'm still daily dealing with my brother.
Yeah.
Daily. I think people just forget about that. And then you have to deal with this. It can be a bit much.
I was just about to say that because
it could be a bit much on you. And it's nothing but the grace of God that helps you sustain. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, in order to dish it, you need to be able to take it.
Yeah.
But I ain't dishing out none of them. I ain't dishing it out on this level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was just about to say that, because I was actually very much looking forward to Tyesse After Dark last week. And it was frustrating because I had a rough week and there was just other things. There was a lot going on. And for me, when I do these shows, it's not just a show. It's not something that I look at as like, first of all, everybody that's in the chat, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. We love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Hit those like buttons. But
hey,
and
continue to share, please. Can we get to 100? If we can get to 100, I'd appreciate it, Tyesse. I know you can do it. If we can get to 100 views, I know we can do it. We're the Mighty Tyesse, and that would make me so happy if we could get to 100. We're 14 away. Go ahead, Kwame.
Y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Muff. I appreciate you. But last week when we had Tyesse After Dark, I was looking forward to it. I was like, okay, it's the last show of the week. It's the closer. It's gonna be, I even had like a rough time, like I think a couple hours before the show, and I was going through something, and I was like, at least I have Tyesse After Dark. Everything's good. And so we're in Tyesse After Dark, and we're having a damn good time. Like y'all don't understand. Some of you don't understand that sometimes I don't see what is in the creative deck. My team is the one that's putting that puts it all in the flow. So I'm watching it real time and laughing with you guys in real time with you. And I kind of like it that way because then it doesn't let me feel like I'm missing a joke or I'm getting that punchline. You know what I'm saying? So oftentimes it's I feel like in addition to me being the EP, I'm also seeing what you're doing and seeing your work and seeing, you be you. And I was having a good time, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, the devil was just busy last week.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's frustrating because it's like there's enough space on YouTube for everyone. There's not an application that you have to put in to be a YouTuber. You can just get a free Gmail and get a free YouTube and say what the hell you want to say. Ain't nobody stopping you.
And if you're good at it, you can get subscribers and monetize.
And you too can have over 7,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you put the work into it, of course there's algorithm. Of course there's other things that you have to put into it. But at the end of the day, you can get it done. And so what's frustrating to me is like, why are you allowing, not you, mother, why are you allowing people to affect you so much that you have to do, and this is not just what happened on Tyesse After Dark. This is really a broad spectrum of a certain type of YouTuber that's out there now. It's a culture.
It's a culture.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely changed. I've never seen this before. This is something that's very new in my sphere. And I feel like it's happened within since the pandemic, honestly, because everybody, there were certain people that were in were doing vlogging. There were certain people that were doing certain things, and then all of a sudden we had, everybody got bored at home, and they're like, oh, well, I want to still talk and communicate with people, and I want to do these different things. And they may not have it. They just are just talking to their own little traumatic group that they're in, and then they go and amplify it because you have a couple of people bigging them up, and now it's like, oh, it's a big thing. Or they think that it's a big thing. And so what they do is like, oh, well, if Biggie and Tupac argued and had a beef, and that made them popularized, then maybe I can have a beef if I go ahead and attack certain YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of thinking? Why would you want to base? And then when that beef is over, you have to then keep that beef going by having another beef. What type of toxicity do you have to be in, and toxic mindset do you have to be in order for you to do that? I am so confusion.
And when you talk about it the way we're talking about it now, because it's not vitriolic, it's not angry, it's coming from a good place. When you talk about that, is weaponized as playing the victim.
Right.
So it's like you really can't, like, it's like, what do you do in this landscape? You can't even talk about it rationally without, oh, okay, you're playing the victim.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't talk about it. If I keep beefing with you, I know that it drives people away, because I've seen it drive people away. There are diehard people that are going to stay with your toxicity or stay with your beefing, but people will start peeling away because they don't come to your platform for that unless you built your platform on that.
Yeah.
And let me add to that and say that every content creator needs people that hold them accountable.
Yes.
There have been people that have told me in my inbox, mother, you could have went about that differently.
Yeah.
Well, sis, you're right there, Tyesse, And if you don't have that, if you have just yes people, you're never going to have any type of self-awareness or self-analyzation like, okay, I should have really, really, really stopped on that day or ended it that day. Because nobody is telling you. Everybody's facilitating whatever you're weaponizing, whatever you got going on.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I think no one is above accountability, right?
No
one is above critique. No one is above commentary. That's kind of what we're in, the lane that we're in, right? And what we've chosen to go into, we commentate, right? But no one is above critique. And I think that if you look at it, I think it's perspective, honestly. Because if we're having a conversation and I go to you and I say, hey, Tyesse, I didn't like the way you said that. Okay, let's have a conversation about it. Instead of you feeling and getting an ego, you said, I hurt Kwame's feelings in some way, shape, or form. I didn't mean to, and I should know that. If I ever mean ill intention to me. So I'm not going to take it seriously, but I could still say, and vice versa. You could still say, Kwame, I know you probably didn't mean it this way, but the way you said that seemed like shade, or that way you said that really hurt my feelings. That's accountability for me to say, okay, no problem. I didn't mean to do that. That was not my intention ever to offend you or make you feel disrespected. Let's talk about it. I'm sorry. I don't understand, and I'm a Capricorn. I am very bullheaded. Okay? It doesn't take me but nothing more but 2.5 seconds, because I have learned that if you apologize quickly, you will save bridges.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to say I'm
it's
sorry.
Not. But your ego, the ego won't allow you to do that because you don't want to be seen as the punk or the weak one.
Right. And that to me is crazy. And I don't even know where that comes from. I still feel like there's a lot of deconstruction that our community needs to get into. And so work on when it comes to that, when it comes to trauma and trauma-based mechanisms. But at the end of the day, I don't want us to continue to as a community, to continue to go into this direction of, because it seems like the new generation, Gen Z, is starting to see that and think that that's what you're supposed to do. And it feels like an evolution of celebrity beefing. You know what I'm saying? When they don't realize that PR people, publicity people are put in place to create those beefs, and you don't. For example, quiet as it's kept, Tucker Carlson doesn't hate Democrats.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you how I know. Ask me how I know, mother.
How?
I'm gonna tell you because there has been conversations. There has been reports of Tucker Carlson being at the DNC or Tucker Carlson being in what do you call it? What's that annual news?
CPAC?
No, it's like for journalists every year. The White House.
Oh, the White House correspondence.
White House correspondence. So he's talking to Nancy Pelosi. He's talking to this person. He's talking to all those people that he was talking crap about on his show. Because they all have to be in a space, because at the end of the day, people will beef with each other. People will have these quote unquote beef. Good morning, good evening, y'all. People will beef with each other. People will have all of these quote unquote PR stunts that they do. But what happens is that this new generation, and I'm not saying new generation as in Gen Z, this new generation of vloggers, because it's not just Gen Z that's in there. I'm talking about millennials, late millennials, even new Gen X people that are entering the sphere. They're coming into this situation where they're looking at it like, oh, well, Biggie and Tupac did it. Nicki Minaj and Lotto did it. These people are doing it. So maybe if we do that, we can generate a buzz. That's not how that works. Yeah. It's not. You're not. You have to understand that these people had already built platforms, and once their platforms have been built, then they're going to do all of those different things. You can't start a platform from there, because once you start, that's how you're going to end.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And you can rebrand. Anybody can rebrand, right? Yeah. Larry Reed Larry Reed, when he first started, his platform was very salacious. It was very, expose of the church, the black church, pastors. And then, I mean, anybody that knows media knows that that's going to get you two things. It's going to get you a really healthy lawsuit.
Yeah.
Or it can really physically get you hurt, like body wise. So, he decided to do the switchover, and the switchover is hard, Kwame, because your audience still knows you from that, and it's going to take them a minute for them to get with the new switchover, and then you lose people, but you will also gain a greater following.
Yeah.
But so many people don't want to do the switchover and the rebranding, Kwame, because it's really a fear of the unknown. What will happen if I try something different with my podcast, my blog? What will happen if I try something different? Yeah. And the thing of it is that to this crew that's on YouTube right now, and I'm just being honest, and this is just my opinion of just knowing life. This is not sustainable, Kwame. And I know as a brand strategist, this is not sustainable long term. No. You just can't keep beefing with YouTubers and beefing and cussing people out and beefing. It's just it's a never-ending vortex, and eventually it'll come to them, because either their page will get shut down, or they'll get sued, or people will just start. Because one thing about the internet is people are so damn finicky.
Yeah.
They will be in your chat cheering you on. Yeah, fuck that bitch. And 2 weeks later, they'll be in somebody else's chat cheering the same thing. Yeah. So people need to understand, honey, you need to have a strategy.
Yeah.
And one of those strategies should be able to be, I have a platform and this is where I'm going with it. This is my goal, We all, even Tyesse Madison, when she first started out, she did a lot of X-rated, very tawdry, programming. But over time, if you want to change and get your coins, you have to bring it down. That don't mean you have to censor yourself, Kwame, whitewash yourself. Right. You can still be adult friendly, like adult content friendly, but you have sponsors, you have people. Ain't nobody fit to pick you up talking about people, mamas and body shapes and
Right.
But let me say this, and I know this is a run-on sentence.
Oh, you're fine.
Let me say this. What I'm realizing, because I'm realizing this with a situation, there are some people like they don't give a fuck because they not gonna do that with their channel. Do you understand what I'm saying, Kwame? Like they don't give a fuck. That's why they'll tell you, shut my channel down. I don't give a fuck. I got another channel. Because if you really I care about my channel. I'm not gonna do nothing to jeopardize it.
Yes.
I'm not gonna diminish subscribers. I don't need no subscribers. Fuck these subscribers. I would never say that because the subscribers are who make you who you are.
Yeah.
So if somebody don't give a fuck about their channel, they will do anything. And one thing I'm learning too is you can't shame these people. You cannot shame them. You can't embarrass them. They don't have no shame like that. So all you can do is really just wait it out.
Yeah, and you have to be careful with people who do not feel like they have anything to lose.
Yeah. Oh.
Because those type of people are not only concerning, they're dangerous. They're dangerous because they don't care if the shit burns down. They don't care as long as their ego is still in check, as long as they're being guided by their ego. It doesn't matter if they burn the whole ship down. Okay? And if they're still on it, they don't care because they're going to prove a point. And what the problem is with that is that we get into it because at the end of the day, we have brands that we're building, mother. I have a whole company. It's not just Pyro Media Network. I have a whole enterprise. I can't just sit there and act all cray-cray. I'm gonna lay some people out sometimes about what I do because I'm from New York. I don't do some of these type of conversations that people do online, but I have to check myself. And I say, you know what? You are made anew in Jesus. Okay, so you have to check yourself. You also can't just lay everybody out.
No, I can't. There have been times when I really want to tell people, my own followers, of things, but I know I can't do that because you hurt people's feelings.
Right.
And people don't understand because they see me and they see my cheeks, they see my smile, and they don't understand. I mean, I'm from the west side of Pasadena. People think of Pasadena as the Rose Parade. They don't know once you cross Washington, you're in, as we call the King's Manor and all up and through there, it get real gully over there in Pasadena. So people don't know you. People think they know you. There's a part of me that that has died a long time ago. A part of that persona and that energy. Mm-hmm. I try to, keep that side of my energy, dormant and dead.
Yeah.
But it's always there, Kwame. It can come up at any time, you know. So I try to, be a different different Tyesse, a wholeness and wellness Tyesse. But I will never try. That west side is still in me, honey. Listen, it can get real gangster if you want it to be.
Kwamisha is ready. Now, Kwamisha's locked up in my head, okay? She learned not to get cray-cray because we're trying to do, bigger and better things.
Yeah.
At the same time, Kwamisha be like, you want me to come out yet? She at the ready. Now, Kwamisha hasn't died yet, okay? Old time, Kwamisha hasn't died yet. Kwame is working on killing Kwamisha. We're trying, okay? Praise Jesus. It's a work in progress. He's still working on me. Bless him. But at the end of the day, all of this being said, I wanted to bring you on today because I think community building is super important. I think that one of the things that I always try to do on Kwame Speaks is to try to get people to understand this is not just us turning on StreamYard and hitting the live button and hitting go. There is a focus. There is a love for the people. There is a desire to want to help. There's a desire to want to build a safe space for people, to build a space for Kiki, to build a virtual club, if you will, because that's what the original intent of clubs were, especially LGBTQ clubs. Right?
Yes, safe havens.
Safe havens, and so I couldn't think of anybody else who I respect more, who I've seen literally use a lot of the tactics and the skills that a lot of the brand strategists use in my field to build community. So thank you for coming on, Mother. I know you have a show to get ready. I actually have to go and do another show, but thank you so much for coming on and blessing us and being candid and open. I typically we have commercials and stuff, but I really just wanted to get to the point, and I really wanted to touch people and understand that we are human. The person that you see on the screen, right? Me, I'm human. The person that you see over here, he's human. We have feelings. As much as we want to take our earrings off, as much as we want to put on that Vaseline, we still have feelings. You know what I'm saying? And there's
but like at this point, brother, like, you know, with the current situation that I'm dealing with, I was saying earlier, I said, I don't know if my last video is gonna set this woman off or not. And I was like, even if it do set her off, like, or even if she do start back up, if somebody's just doing it on their own and you don't respond to it, like, we know the formula, and I know sometimes ignoring it makes it worse, but sometimes you don't have no other choice, Kwame, but to really ignore it, because the going back and forth is sometimes never ending with some of these people. So all you can do is just say, you know what? I already said what I needed to say. Everybody knows my feelings, and honey, he or she just gonna have to do this on their own, because this is not even worth it. In the grand scheme of things, it's not even worth, you know, the breath that you're breathing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you just have to give it to God, and when you give it to God, you can truly say it's handled.
Yeah, new levels, new devils.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to let you guys go early because we got to prep for the Tyesse support a little bit. So thank you so much, Mother, for coming on. Really, really, truly appreciate you, all the work that you do. And I just want to let you know that we're praying for you. I don't know.
Oh, I feel it.
I know you know the Thai Squad loves you. I know you know the Pyro Media, so you know I love you to death, to life rather. And so I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate you for every day just being your authentic self and being brave enough to do so. And just thank you for looking out for us, because we need.
And I had no idea what this conversation was going to be about. I had no idea, and I really wanted to talk to you about this. Yeah. So that goes to show you, Kwame, when something is divinely ordered. When you told me to come on, I had no idea until you started talking at the top of the show. You didn't tell me anything. You just said, "Would you like to come on?" And I said, "Yeah." And I'm seasoned enough of this. Whatever you were going to talk about, I'm ready to go, because this is what I do. But I had no idea this is what you were going to talk about. As God is my witness. So
honestly, the show tonight was supposed to be about the expansion of Lux and Noir, and it was just something I have learned since I lost that person during COVID. I have learned that my discernment and the unction of God has to come first. If God told me to shut down Pyro tomorrow, that is what I'm going to do, because it has literally saved my life. That voice that you hear at the bottom of it has literally. When I've been overseas and I've been during war in Afghanistan, when I've felt like I wanted to go left, God told me to go right, and it has literally saved me from hitting an IED, all these different things. And I have literally learned to listen to my spirit. And today I just felt like I need to have a conversation about this, because nobody's talking about the shift that is happening in social media. And I'm a big proponent in social media. I think that social media can be a phenomenal tool for your business brand and your overall just life. But if we don't get to a point where we start nipping certain things in the butt, and it takes the connections of elders and young people coming up to really connect and really understand that there's a shift happening. And I don't know if it's the devil, you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, but there's a shift happening in these social media streets, and it is disgusting. And it is something that we can't allow our youth to continue to perpetuate, because then it's going to get bigger and we're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
So
at the end of the day, brother, I thank God for the Thai Squad, because it's them who is keeping me afloat emotionally, and God is keeping me afloat spiritually. And let me just be honest, if you see me snap off and go off on somebody, it's because of just irritation. I'm not spooked and I'm not worried, because The Tyesse Squad we got law enforcement, we have cyber security experts, we have people in the media that, you know, we don't talk about it, but they're literally in journalism that are in the Tyesse Squad. And so we have a warehouse of everything that you need as far as a basis go. These are not just people sitting on air mattresses or sitting on the porch smoking Newports. These are actual people that have the resources, financial, infrastructure, information. If you need something, it can get done. All I have to literally do is just ask, and they will be there to support me. So that gives me a lot of comfort right there, because I know if I can just avoid being irritated, I have an army behind me of people that all I have to do is say, you know what, let's just get this done and get this over with. Let's just do Operation, you know, Pink, and it's done. But sometimes, Kwame, it's not even worth it. You don't use your resources for. You need to save your resources for when you really need them, brother.
And Odds Gardens just said it in the chat. That's community, and that in and of itself is literally the whole purpose of this particular episode of Kwame Speaks. So thank you so much, Mother, for coming on. I appreciate you. God bless you for all the things that you do, and
thank you.
God continue to bless you for all the things that you're going to do, because I see you glowing up to the max. So I cannot wait for you to sit down with Oprah and Gail. Yeah, talk to them, girl.
All right.
Praise God.
I receive it.
Yes, and they come into your studio. Praise God.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Love you.
We love you too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys want to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, please do so. You can like my page at Kwame Speaks on YouTube, or you can go ahead and like Pyro Media Network as well. And please don't forget, you know, if you want, you can cash out right there. It's Kwame C86. Bless you if you do. And I pray it goes back to you fourfold. Praise God. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Mother, again, I love you. And I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, create a great day.
Bye-bye.